now available in paperback and e-readers. Spellbound, A Darker Shade of Black. Get your copy today at your favorite online bookseller. I got a chance to take a look at the DC Comics animated movie Batman Soul of the Dragon this weekend. Now, I had been waiting for this film to come to HBO Max all year, and it did not disappoint me when I watched it this weekend. Batman Soul of the Dragon is an absolutely fantastic movie that I believe takes American animation to a level where it can compete with Japanese anime. The story here is rich and complex and has a lot more adult themes, and it really shows us how creative American animators can be once they're given an opportunity to tell an absolutely fantastic story. Now, Batman Soul of the Dragon is set in the 1970s, and it captures the spirit of your Batman comics from that era that were written by the late Denny O'Neil and done by artists like Neil Adams and Marshall Rogers. Now, this era of Batman is a completely different character than the one many people saw in shows like the 2000s The Batman, or the Batman the Animated Series, or Justice League Unlimited. Now, in those versions of Batman, we got to see a more modern post-crisis take where your Bruce Wayne is a persona and Batman is who Bruce Wayne really is. But in this film, Batman Soul of the Dragon, we get more of a balanced version of Bruce Wayne, and we get to see that Bruce Wayne is just as much a person, and Batman is just a persona he puts on when he goes out to fight crime. So in this version, we get to see that Bruce actually has a personal life, and in this film, we get to see a lot more Bruce than we do Batman. And that was something I was really happy about, because in too many adaptations of Batman, he's too dark, he's too angry, and it's Batman all the time, and I was really glad to see that Bruce was a person in this film. Now, this film opens up with your Nanda Parma, and it opens up where your Nanda Parma is a place where Bruce learns how to do his martial arts. And the story starts with your Richard Dragon. He's going on a mission to find out about some plans as related to Nanda Parma having to deal with some sort of terrorists trying to come after it. Now, your Richard Dragon in this film, he's an Asian guy modeled after Bruce Lee, and even though they race swapped the character, I wasn't upset about it that much, because the Richard Dragon character is very well developed in the story, and he gets a lot of screen time, and we get to really get to know his character. Now again, Richard Dragon in the comics is a white guy, but here he's an Asian guy, but that doesn't really hurt his story as related to a character. And they really go out here and capture the spirit of old 70s Bond movies and martial arts movies with many of Richard Dragon's scenes, and that was something great to see. Now, as your Richard Dragon goes out here and gets the information for the villa that he goes to, we then segue to the villain, and the villain is downright scary. Now, this villain, he's somebody who really captures the spirit of old school Bond villains, and while this sequence takes a while, it really again shows us how evil this guy is. And Richard Dragon, they show us a good part of him as related to him going out here and going on these missions, and eventually these missions lead to him having to go to Bruce Wayne. And he goes to Bruce Wayne because he was, again, one of the students as related to dealing with the sensei at Nanda Parma. And we find out there were 6 students, and one of them was Bronze Tiger, another was Lady Shiva, and another was Richard Dragon, and there were 2 more that are related to a major plot twist in the story. Now, I don't want to give away too much as related to Batman Soul of the Dragon story, because Batman Soul of the Dragon story is extremely compelling. We get a lot of really fantastic twists and turns as related to the plot, and all of these plot twists really build up to a powerful climax that lead to you wanting to count down the days until we get a sequel to Soul of the Dragon. I definitely want to see a sequel made to Soul of the Dragon because this story was absolutely fantastic, and the world that was being built in this story is one that I definitely want to see expanded upon. I mean, everything in the story really shows how Batman isn't just a part of Gotham City, and Gotham City is in its own bubble. No, this Batman I liked because he was a part of a larger DC universe, and he was connected to other people in the DC universe. And it didn't hurt that many of the visual designs as related to the characters were fresh and original. I really liked the redesign of Richard Dragon. I really liked the redesign of Lady Shiva. And I definitely liked the redesign of your Bronze Tiger. And I liked those little fun references where they made reference to the classic 1970s movie Black Samurai, and then Bronze Tiger corrects him and tells him he's the Bronze Tiger. That was a fun little reference that they made to that cheesy 1970s karate film. And I also liked how they just really incorporated a lot of great elements from great karate movies like Enter the Dragon and many other fantastic karate movies. Everything here, again, captured the spirit of 1970s culture, 1970s action movies, and 1970s karate movies, and most importantly, captured the spirit of 1970s Batman comics. It basically felt like a Batman comic from the 1970s coming to life on screen, and that was something I really enjoyed seeing as related to this film. I also liked the time progression shown as related to Bruce coming to Nanda Parma, and I liked the way they showed how he looked one way in the 60s and then later on looked another way in the 70s. It just showing me how these creators did meticulous research for this film and how they really did a great job of really taking every little detail and bringing it to life on screen to capture that time period. I really loved all of the elements here as related to the art style, again capturing the spirit of those old school comics, and I also love the absolutely compelling storytelling done here because we really don't get to see your animated movies really become this rich and complex since the 1990s when we got films like what was it? I think it's called, a couple of them that were rich and complex like this, like Mulan, and films like your attempts like Titan AE, and films like your Treasure Planet. We haven't really seen things like this since those type of films. And one of my favorite Disney animated series, Gargoyles, where they were trying to push the envelope as related to creativity and really create an animated series that really tried to show us what creators can do with animation. We really have not seen this type of exploration of harder themes and richer and more complex stories in a while, and I was really glad to see that your Warner Brothers Animation was taking some risks creatively, and that's again another reason why I want to see this world get expanded upon in a sequel. And I would also love to see if Warner Brothers would go out here and further develop this world, because I think Green Arrow would be fantastic in this type of story, and I definitely would love to see a Justice League done in this style. I highly recommend you go out here and watch Batman Soul of the Dragon while it's on HBO Max, because this film is absolutely fantastic. It is a step in the right direction for American animation, and we need more films like this, and that's why I just give this film my highest recommendation, because this is the type of animation I want to see come out of American movie studios, and this is the type of animation and storytelling I want to see more American companies go out here and produce. Now, if you want to pick up more of my SJS Direct action-packed African American fantasy, like the ISIS series, the E-Steam series, and the John Haynes series. You can find those books on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format. You can also find all of those books on Smashwords, the iBookstore, and Google Play. And if you want to see me make more superhero movie review videos, you can donate to my Patreon, my PayPal, and my Cash App by clicking the links in the description box. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe.